All right, Dave, and all right, guys, we've got them, Dave. We've got the Foothillers after their win tonight. We've got Tyler Holmes and Dave. I think you're one of your favorites this season, Colton Burke. He's got to get new shoes every week running these plays back, guys. Congratulations on the big win tonight, Dave. You can pop some questions to the guys. I'll try to pick up the highlights here maybe as we go along. We had to adjust getting them in here, but the final tonight, Dave, 48-27 in an instant championship game. And I don't know if the Hillers saw it coming this way. We've been touting them as the team to beat, Dave, and maybe you can ask Colton and Tyler about it. But we didn't know it was going to be Grossmont and West Hills. There's still some work to be done for these Foothillers before they can wrap it up. And this is been a tough league so far, but big win tonight, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, you had a big firework to start the game anyway. I mean, you got Gage setting the tone, going 75 yards for a touchdown. So that pretty much, I'm sure, pumped up the offense and the defense all the same. And then just over 2 minutes into the game, you were already dominating. Now, did you guys go in thinking that, I know what you're probably going to tell me, but go in there thinking, we can handle these guys, or did you hear that their defense is pretty tough and they might be a little tougher to score on?
Well, we came into the game knowing we were going to win, to be honest. Like, we had full confidence. Tyler can talk to you about their defense. I didn't watch film on their defense, but we knew they were like a wing tee to like spread team, and we just knew that we knew them. So
how about the pick? How about the pick six? Tell me about that. So what did you see? Did you see eyeballs that were looking right at you, or?
Well, I haven't had a pick all year, so I was just waiting for one. And we had a cover 3, and I was in the flats, and I saw him look and start to throw to a curl, and I knew I was going to get it. And then I wanted the touchdown so bad. And the QB was about to tackle me, so I juked him. I needed the touchdown.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, especially this part of the season. I mean, you only have 2 league games left, and I guess you would call it the halfway point in league right now, even though it's only the second game and getting ready for playoffs. So I'm sure that's got to pump you up and pump the whole offense up. There were so many. I mean, how many different receivers got the ball today? I mean, I think there's half of your core or all of them?
Tyler, I feel like you want to keep everybody involved.
Yeah, we've obviously been able to run the ball effectively this year, but we were really trying to get the pass game going. So spreading the ball out and trying to get it to everybody in different areas.
That's a great point, brother, because comparatively, maybe to what we saw previously with Coach Lawrence, you guys have you've had a great running game to kind of put on your shoulders a little bit, make it a little bit easier in the passing game. I know you get these touchdown passes. I mean, we had Ballard with a 43-yarder. You had a run in there by Dow. AJ caught a pass this week. He's doing it in so many ways. But that running game, were you surprised? Are you surprised how good the running game has been, knowing the way the Hillers kind of were, I'll say it, pass happy last year, right?
I mean, we have 3 really good running backs that we're confident giving any of them the ball, and our O-line has been blocking really well, and we can trust them to just run behind them.
And I mean, they're just extra, pretty much your backs are also your extra receivers. I mean, you don't even have to always pitch them or a jet sweep. I mean, you can toss it 20, 30 yards down. They're going to catch it every time also. Sticky hands, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I didn't mention Struck caught a touchdown, right?
Yeah, he did.
Tell me about him. I want to get to everybody. And did Kraus? Is Kraus?
Yes.
Yeah, he also had one.
Tell me about these guys, Tyler. I mean, you got a lot of guys. I think I've seen their names once or twice before, and you're mentioning getting it around to these guys. tell me about these guys. They're not the ones getting the bulk so far, and you've been all over the place with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on our team's got great work ethic and is ready for their moment. So I mean, I trust all of them. So going to any of them, I have full confidence with them.
I mean, you had to have the corners going absolutely nuts and the safety just not probably scratching his head, pulling out any hair he had left as you're going to all these receivers and they're running every which way.
Yeah, we had looked over their defense a little bit, and we were pretty confident with what we were going to get. So just going out there and seeing it and being able to put it into play.
Yeah, we thought that maybe the front line that would be probably the biggest part of the defense as far as who would get to you. But other than that, the secondary, you would be able to pretty much handle them for the whole evening. But you took care of them up front too. You got hats off to your offensive line, huh?
Yeah, I mean they're great all year. I just know I'm gonna have time, and I know they're gonna get a push for our run game.
Can you name them all, Tyler?
Yeah, we got Max Tufugafale.
There you go.
We got Caden, Daniel Vidari, Dylan Woodward, and Demarcus Portlock.
JP.
Hey, Colt, you talk about the wanting the interception. We've seen you out there rumbling a little bit with the ball. You only had to go 22 yards, but this time you guys, knocked the quarterback from the game last week. You guys are kind of setting the tone for this team this year on the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, I told you guys earlier in the year in the interview that I was confident in our defense,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel
Oh,
like
you
we
and
saw it.
Ryder are freaking like a freight train coming through their line every time. I mean, every week it's and if you don't get them, you're so close. So I mean, every quarterback's been under duress, and I'm sure you're proud of that too. I mean, if you don't get them, at least you get them to toss the ball away or throw a pick.
Yeah, I feel like our defense is just all working as one. Like finally, like from last year, a few of us would be doing good, but as a defense, you got to all be on the same page. And I feel like our trenches this year have really stepped up. Like our D line are stopping the run. D line and backers are doing well, and then in coverage we're good too.
Yeah, I mean, compared to last year, talk about some how much the growth you have now, and I mean, you're more knowing you're gonna where to be, where your other guys are gonna be, and that they're gonna have your back while you're out there.
It's just like a level of confidence knowing that everyone is going to do their job, and if someone messes up, we're there to clean it up. And our leaders are there to get on people for not doing their job.
So, besides your partner Ryder, who else you want to give some kudos to? Because I know that he's usually the guy right next to you when you get in there into the backfield.
And tell us about
Yeah.
Ryder, what he's meant to that. I mean, those are some great numbers. I'm sure it helps everybody on the D, Colton.
Yeah, he's just dangerous on the edge. He's been good though. I've been known this. But someone I want to give kudos to is Caden Ong, because me and him just work on the same side. It's a corner and like nickel thing, and we just work so well together. And he always will be there to let it hit. So
Was that the
I
big
trust
play
him.
last week, Colton? Did he get the hit and you picked it up again in the game against Santana? You
No, he had a play where I think Ryder tipped it,
Yeah, right.
or someone, yeah, Ryder
Uh-huh.
tipped it, and then I went up for it, but then it just like bounced off my hands. But it did land right into Caden's hands, and he took it back for 6. So that's a play that
Yeah.
he had.
And
That's when you probably said, "All right, enough's enough. I'm gonna have one tonight. I touched it last week. This week I'm gonna have one, and I'm gonna run in."
Yeah, I'm also loving the defensive touchdowns. They're just like, it's thrilling.
when Gage returned that, what was it? He had a punt return just a couple minutes
Yeah.
into the game, and he's been doing so much lately. Tell me about Gage's game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the other side, so I don't see it a lot. But I seem he's always where the ball carriers are. He's always where they are, and he's always in the tackles. He led our team in tackles with like 109 last year, and it just shows this year he's gained confidence.
And I felt bad for Drew. You know, he made a perfectly legitimate hit last week on poor Ethan of Santana. He probably felt pretty bad though knocking him from the game, but it was just a sign of what you guys can do defensively. And you know, once they had to bring in the backup, you guys were scoring. That's I think what you're referring to, scoring all those defensive touchdowns. But you guys have done it kind of all year too.
Yeah, Drew loves to hit. He's like the definition of a linebacker. So having him there and Jay, knowing that they want to hit and they want to tackle runs, it's just confidence. Our whole defense is just working together. It's like amazing.
Now, as I was watching the action, I noticed that what's the premise going for the 2-point conversions? Almost, well, I guess 90% of the time, 98%. Tyler.
Tyler, coach is crazy, man. We go onside kicks half the time. We always go for 2, 4 field goal, 4 place kickers.
I mean, if you do the math, I mean, you get 1 out of every 2. It's the same as kicking a field goal, and it's just easier. It's one play instead of having to get the snap, the kick, the blocking. I mean, we have plays for it. We can pretty much run anything on it, so it's just like an extra play.
Yeah, see, Dave, when those games are on the weekend, probably Tyler's watching a college game and it says like the ESPN metrics, and he's like, "Nah, I don't think so. You got to go for it in this situation."
Well, yeah, I mean, look what happens to the field goal kickers in the NFL. I think they're a downgrade now. I mean, they're getting more field goals blocked now. So really, I think Coach Lawrence has something. He's got a good recipe for winning that way, and just running the numbers. Why not? Let's go for 2.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I mean, look, you guys came in, Colton said it perfectly, talking about the confidence that you guys had coming into this game. And look, play the Braves next week. Let's get everybody in there, have a strong game, but let everyone share in the wealth. And then Monte Vista, still a pretty tough game. And we know Grossmont's actually, Monte Vista's been kind of a thorn a little bit, or a tougher game. So maybe those 2 teams, West Hills, Monte Vista, Dave, I don't know, do we rate them kind of as even? I know you guys are confident now, but like I said, this kind of sprung up as the championship game kind of. I know you guys got to beat Monte Vista, go out there and take care of business, but you guys had to look at it, even if you were confident that tonight was the big game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we look at every game like an individual game, and we study the team and go out with confidence that we know what they're going to do. And yeah, I mean, the main thing that everything comes back to is just confidence. We got confidence in each other and confidence in what we're going to do when we get out there.
So, I mean, you go out there knowing every time that you step on the field, you strap on the helmets, you guys, we're going to win today. And we don't know by how much, but we're going to win this game. And then we're going to walk off, and then we'll talk about the next one.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
All right, Dave. Well, great job getting the Foothillers. Congratulations. We waited for the moment, right? This was the big game we've been talking about. Man, we got to have these Hillers on. They're rolling with all these wins, but you guys are taking care of business in some of these games. So to win a big game tonight, Dave, and get the Foothillers here. I know we didn't get them on the bus, Dave, but on the side of the bus it does say championship. So let's at least roll it for the guys, Dave. Thanks a lot, brothers. Congratulations tonight on the great win. We hope to pick up with you maybe come playoff time, or maybe in that championship game against the Monarchs. Got to still win that one and beat the Braves, Dave.
Yeah, I would like to see you. I mean, I can't predict the future, but I think we'll be talking to you a couple of more times, because I think the playoffs are going to be fun as well. But got to take care of our league business first and win that. And then we'll go from there, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, guys. And we'll let them know as we transition to the next game, Dave, though. Monte Vista will not have a chance to win when they probably face them here in 2 weeks. They lost tonight to Santana 14-7. So Grossmont beat Santana. That was their first loss. Santana's 2-1. Grossmont wins out. They're the Valley League champs. And I'll say it, Dave, guys, coming from a Highlander, Dave asked me every year, is this the year? Is this? Of course, I'm stubborn. And I said, no, Helix will always be. You know what? I'm disappointed we don't have that game. This might have been the year. I'll say it as a Highlander.
The musket.
I have the Foothillers ranked ahead of the Highlanders, Dave, in my rankings, and I think the Hillers would have given them a great game. And I'm really disappointed, guys, that we don't have a battle for the musket. You guys might have been the ones to get that darn gun back.
That's the game that's the game we all want.
Yeah, that's the only one we're missing on the schedule that we definitely want.
I'm surprised that Coach Lawrence didn't rattle some cages or made it. I don't know. Take somebody out to a steak dinner and go, guys. We gotta put this on the schedule. This is history here, and we haven't won for so many years. I mean, it's decades, and I think we need to take this one because we know that we're gonna take this one. But didn't work out that way. But you never know in the future. The way they're switching around teams these days, after 2 years, you could be back in the hills. Who knows?
Well, Coach Jones told us it might be coming back sooner than you know it. And again, guys, take it from a Highlander. This was going to be, if you didn't win, it was going to be a great game for sure. And the Hillers had probably the best chance, Dave, in at least 10 years to win that game. So congratulations, guys. Great job. And we're not going to crown them just yet, Dave, but I think we said set the tone, Grossmont Foothillers, and that was a big win tonight. Thank you to Tyler Holmes, Colton Burke, our leaders this year, and Colton find some other ways to score here before the season's over.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Great job, Dave, with the Foothillers, wasn't it, tonight in that win over West Hills? Look, 27 points, Dave. I didn't want to give Colton the business too much, and I'm sure that they got some other guys in there. Before you know it, it was just let me cover some of the highlights here if we can, Dave. You mentioned the great return by Weichelt to put him up 8-0 right early in the game. Wolfpack came back, Dave, with a strong drive after Coach went for one of his little onside kicks, and they got the ball at the 46-yard line, so they only had to go 54 yards, I think, on the next drive, and scored there to get – it was Andrew Serrato, I think, scored on a touchdown reception there, trimming the margin to 8-7. The Hillers quickly regained control. Tyler Holmes scored on a 2-yard keeper, pushing the lead to 15-7. Then Holmes stayed hot. He hit Kraus, remember, for that 22-yard score, and it was 22-7. And then Burke intercepted that pass from – it was only 32 yards. Colton made it sound like he had to go all the way. No, he said it was I think he said a curl or an out, right, or something, and he said he –
a curl.
Fight Evan Dill there to get in, it sounded like he said. So West Hills Dave did cut it to 28-14 late in the first half in the game, but then they came back. Ricky Ballard, I think, scored on a 43-yard he got a 43-yard pass down to the 3, and then they got a short touchdown. I think it was a pass to Ballard. Conversion by Dow gave the Hillers a 34-14 halftime lead. Holmes continued his standout night, passing to Hooker for a 3-yard score. And then West Hills did get a late score, 10-yard pass from Dill. I believe Jacob Timmerman there, but the Hillers' big play outburst had long decided the outcome in this one, Dave. So Grossmont 3-0 in the Valley League. And look, they'll beat the Braves. We know that with all due respect. And then that last game, Dave, is against the Monte Vista Monarchs, but it is, Dave, at home. So, look, Monte Vista's a pretty good team. I think they can beat teams on a given day, but it would be an upset for Monte Vista to come in and beat the Hillers, who are probably going to be 2 or 3 touchdown favorites, actually, in that game.
I think so. I got to say, though, and nothing to take away from the Hillers, but I really think the last quarter, and it seems to be the way the Wolfpack has been playing, they don't start off very quickly, and then they get into that mid to late fourth quarter, and all of a sudden their offense heats up, and they're running all over the place. They're passing. I mean, they had a couple of lasers thrown to their receivers, and then the last one, before he scored the touchdown, it was Dill that I think he ran about 17 yards. I thought he was going to go all the way in. He was stopped at the 1. I'm sure he was upset because he was getting beat up out there. But I'll tell you what, he can carry 3 or 4 defenders, and he's kind of a small guy. But Big Heart, I think he was trying to will his team back, but you got to hand it to the both sides of the ball. I think that West Hills, they were overmatched, but I also at the same time think that they, in the fourth quarter in particular, they really tried to come back, and I'm sure they had a little talking to from Coach Ash on let's finish on a higher note, and I think that they did, honestly.
Yeah, and good job. Look, 27 points. Like I said, I'm sure the defense did very well for Grossmont, but good job, West Hills, to earn that spot in that championship game. And like I said, it'll be up to, and we'll see. The other teams could actually have 2 losses. The Villers might not need to win that last game, but Santana's looking good. We'll talk about them next, if you're ready, Dave. First, I want to mention, though, real quick, Dave, that our show, the East County Prep Football Post Game, is sponsored by Granite Mortgage, Lakeside Equipment, and Touchdown Plumbing.
And we also wanted to add in there because he has been a crucial part of our little podcast here, and that is Vic Morano, that goes out to all the games in the county, uses his gas, his vehicle, his time. He said he loves doing it for us. I mean, he's even given me commentary and when he's asking where to go, he's giving me some commentary and his thoughts on who's going to win and why. So, great to have somebody with the football knowledge and then going out there and taking some beautiful pictures. You head over to his Instagram and check him out because he's got, and it's not just football, it's flag football, lots of water polo. I mean, the sports played, he's covered it. So check out those photos; they're fantastic. Everyone this year has been from him for the most part.
Okay, yeah, I've lost my score sheet. Good thing I know all the scores on the screen here. I don't think it's going to affect the broadcast, but I would like to have it in front of me. But let's just go to it. Dave, Santana gets a big win tonight over Monta Vista here, Dave. Santana's special teams and defense mattered and delivered when it mattered most on Friday night, powering the Sultans to a crucial 14-7 Grossmont Valley League victory over Monta Vista at Santee Community Stadium. Dave, both teams came in with 1 win so far in league play, and it kind of still, this gives Santana an outside chance to still get a share maybe of the GBL title despite losing to Grossmont last week. So they bounced back in a big way. Dave, it was a spectacular start to the game as Maddox Iso, remember we had him on beginning of the season with the Sultans, and he was kind of our guy there. I thought when we were interviewing the guys, right, he talked about the way you asked him about scoops and scores. Well, he scooped up a blocked field goal and returned it 95 yards for a touchdown with under 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter, giving the Sultans a 7-0 lead and igniting the home crowd there. Monta Vista did answer with a 5-yard rushing touchdown to tie the game at 7-all, and it was 7-all at halftime. But Santana broke through, Dave. There was a block punt that gave the Sultans possession inside the 10-yard line of Monta Vista, and Caleb Carnes powered into the end zone for a short touchdown run. Liam McGinn made a second extra point, and they led 14-7. It was a defense the rest of the way.
Well, and also, as you mentioned here too, they really bounced back this week after that game. I mean, they just basically played the same game that West Hills played tonight last week, and it was definitely a game that propel them going forward and still having a shot. Unfortunately, I did talk to Coach Estes. He said his guys had all dispersed. The coaches were all talking, and before he could catch any of them, especially the special teamers, which were very special tonight, he couldn't get a hold of them. So I was hoping to get the Sultans on, especially the special teamers, because hey, let's face it, they won the game.
Well, that block punt came from Chris Ledesma while Denton Gore recovered that other I think he blocked it, and Denton Gore, I think, recovered the fumble to set that a big play up. Jordan Galisi led Santana with 8 tackles and a sack. Tatum Morehouse added another sack as the Sultans defense controlled the trenches. Coach did tell you, Dave, that the special teams and defense won the game for the Sultans. Also, Paige Culver acknowledged it as well. They said, hey, we played well defensively. We had 2 TDs called back on holding calls, but they blocked a field goal and returned it for a TD, and they blocked a punt and got a short TD. That was the story of the game. So despite Monte Vista's strong play, there was some miscues there, and they had a couple called back. This game was as close as it sounds.
Yeah, and the thing is we talked about Monte Vista early on in the season too, when they were playing the non-league games, and they came out of the gate first 2 games, and they were looking like they were going to be the superstars and take the Valley with ease. Grossmont was winning, but we still hadn't seen really what Grossmont could do, and then all of a sudden, 6 games later, 7 games later, they're looking like they've already won this Valley League. I mean, they look like the Grossmont of couple of years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago. So I think it's going to be a real lucky break if one of these other teams, like Monte Vista, I don't want to say anything to Culver about his group that they can't do it, because let's face it, they've amazed us year in and year out. I mean, come on, they got the chance and they won a championship. So it can be done, but boy, they got to face a loaded receiving core at Grossmont, and Monte Vista is going to have their hands full. And then Santana, well, they get to go play one of our favorite, and I think the last of the cups, as if you will, the Mayor's Cup against West Hills, that just dropped this game to the same Grossmont team. So I think they're going to be a little upset and perturbed after losing that game on their home field. And here comes Santana, and I know Santana's going to play that game well too, but these West Hills Wolfpack they're going to be ready too.
Yep, and it's an important game for Santana, obviously, because they got to keep winning if they want to have a chance. And then again, Monte Vista will have that chance on. They're pretty much resigned to playing spoiler a little bit here. They play at home against Valhalla next week, and then at Grossmont, and that'll be a big game for Monte Vista. They can kind of look forward. They can take a deep breath right now, and kind of know that they'll probably be a big impact in the playoffs again, Dave, with as good as they are in the division that they'll end up in. But I think they would like to win that game at Grossmont to end the season and spoil things. And if they do, Santana, as long as they can, well, we'll see. Going to be a great game next week, Santana and West Hills. Maybe Santana has the upper hand, what we've seen so far. I don't know. I don't know if they do. I think it's going to be a great Mayor's Cup this season, Dave. I'm not going to ask you to pick it now. I mean, that's for next week. But
no, it is. But I will say, from what I saw tonight,
it is at West Hills, by the way.
That's going to be one of the main factors, but they need to start a little faster. They can't wait till the fourth quarter and then start lighting up the scoreboard. They need to come out. Honestly, they need to come out like Grossmont did first play of the game, and get it started. So, will it save the season or anything like? No, but it'll at least give them the bragging rights of winning the cup. And I think that's what Coach Ash probably after this game and after film, he's going to say, let's just go out there and at least get our trophy and finish off on a winning note.
Yep. And one more in the Valley League. Don't have too much. We'll pick this one up, Dave, on the website with a story here on early next week, as it was Valhalla earning their first Grossmont Valley Victory League of the season. 38-0 over El Cajon Valley in southeastern El Cajon. The Norsemen controlled the game, holding the Braves scoreless while steadily building their lead. After a scoreless first quarter, Jackson Newman broke through with 7-yard keeper for the game's opening touchdown. Then Valhalla extended the margin in the second quarter when Liam Hypes ran it in from 15 yards out. Man, he's been hot here during the league season so far. He's done a great job, number 31 for Valhalla, running the ball in. So Valhalla goes to 2-6, 1-2 in league play, and Elkhorn Valley 2-6 as well. And like I said, we'll have to pick that one up. I will say this: Anderson Turner also had a field goal late in the first half, and it was 17-0 at halftime as he made a 38-yard field goal to help Valhalla to that lead. So good job tonight by Valhalla, and hopefully I can pick it up with a story. I think at least Dave sometime this week we'll have to complete it that way, since it was kind of a blowout tonight. We had some exciting games.
I gotta say though, I am shocked that with them both going into this game with the same record in the Grossmont Valley League, and to not even put any field goal or at least 10 points up on the board, that really does it leaves me scratching my head. I mean, they looked so good 3 games ago, and I don't know what happened, if they have some injuries or something going on, or because they seemed really that when we had them on last, which was about 3 weeks ago, they were going to win, and they were going to win a couple of games. But obviously Valhalla was too much for them. And, Elkhorn Valley, just like Monte Vista, has to have a lot of guys going both ways. And that can be tiring in a long game like this. And, Valhalla, I'm sure had, they can filter their players in and out a little more than, say, the Elkhorn Valley Braves. But another long season for them, unfortunately. But hope who knows, they might pick one up and spoil somebody else's season in the games remaining. So
That's right. All right, Dave, that's a look at the Valley League, and it was just exciting as expected, I think, tonight there. I think West Hills did do a nice job. You said, look, they were within a couple scores there, just Grossmont too much. And like I said, Dave, I had to eat a little humble pie there. I feel like Grossmont really would have given Helix a heck of a game this year, especially if it would have been at Grossmont. Okay, let's go, Dave, to the game that you watched tonight. Your Eagles beat my Highlanders 40-14 tonight. Dave Zach Benitez continued his torrid passing. 4 more touchdowns for the superstar, and the Eagles over Helix tonight, 40-14, as they inch a little bit closer. We'll get the news. I think we should pop up the score, Dave. You covered this one. Let me just kind of complete the tale here. We'll get to this game, but Mount Miguel did win tonight over Steel Canyon. Look at that score, Dave. 28-21. It was as close as it indicated, and we'll get to that in just a moment, but it is important because Steel Canyon came in undefeated. Mount Miguel came in with 1 loss. Eagles remain undefeated at 2-0 in the Hills League.
well, and I gotta say, the way the game started off anyway, just the way Benitez, his presence in the pocket. And I don't see how there isn't more big universities that are top 10 that are not looking at this kid. Just the confidence and the poise that he has in the pocket when he steps up in the pocket, when he knows when to run, when to throw the ball away. There was not as many penalties, and the shocker today was Spalding actually was starting the game behind Benitez. For the first drive, 6-yard run, 5-yard run, and then they had even Wilhite got into the groove and got a 3-yard run, and then to end Spalding's night, not end the night, but he wasn't running the ball for much longer in the game, but because it went -3, and they had a turnover on downs, but. Helix went in there and had a 3-and-out. They were done very quickly. Defense ate them up. They didn't get but a couple of yards. Back over to the Eagles. Benitez to Diaz. 2nd and 5. The 50. Rodriguez, a 5-yard run. Benitez to Diaz for another 4 yards. a 6-yard run from Benitez again. Benitez to Smith for a 39-yard touchdown, and that would start the scoring frenzy and the kick. I mean, Nunez, I don't think has missed an extra point this season. I would have to check into that to see if he did, but I don't think he has. He is an accurate kicker for sure. Um, and Helix had they had a fumble. Callaway wasn't really able to get any ground, especially on the ground. Most of the running was coming from number 2, and that's from Lester. He was doing the throwing, he was doing the running. But I'll tell you what was happening is that Granite Hills defense, when he was trying to go straight through, he was getting pounded. And when he tried to go out to the side, he was getting caught by the feet or caught by the legs. These tacklers that Granite Hills have, these are the real deal. I think this is the toughest defense that Helix faced all season. Benitez again, he did score. They were using Davion Williams too, another good running back. Goes for 8 yards, goes for 10, goes for 15. And then Benitez to Walker, 35-yard touchdown. There's another one. All these 30-plus yard. I mean, and it looks like he does it with ease when he's throwing these touchdown passes. And where are these corners? How are they letting him throw these balls so easily and no one's has them under duress? Trying to look for something that Helix, but no. And in the next middle of the second, Lester was sacked, and and it was called a safety after they looked at it again and talked about it. He did in fact they had a safety, and then here we go again, and we end up with the 2 points and another. Get this. Number 4 for the, I believe it was, I want to say that's Rodriguez. 71-yard kickoff return after the safety.
Okay, yeah, maybe. I thought it was Parker Johnson, but
yes, you're right. It was Parker Johnson.
Okay. Yep.
It was Parker Johnson. 71 yards. I saw at least 7 missed tackles. He was weaving in and out of traffic. I had not seen speed. They have so many speedsters, just a ground game alone. And I wonder, Coach, why are you not using these guys more often in your running game, not just on your kickoff returns? And let's see. And then Lester, finally, though, Lester, towards the end of the second, Lester, an 11-yard run, another 9-yard run himself. And then his, I forget his name, but number 20 scores on the 2-yard scamper in to the end zone for their first points, and the kick was good. Now we're at 23-7. Pretty much from there, it was all Granite Hills. It was Benitez. I mean, they had by I'd say with 8 minutes left, they had brought in what is it, Brody Vickers. That's right, Brody Vickers. And get this, he got himself a first down, and I'm not kidding you. He was carrying at least 4 Highlanders and running straight through them. I think that this kid is going to be good. I mean, he had some erratic throws, but I think that this kid is going to be something that Coach Cobbs is going to look at to replace Benitez. As we know, Benitez he's only a junior, correct?
Zach? Yeah.
So we still have 1 more year, and I think that I truly believe that with that being said, I think we're going to be up in a lot of these games. Why not just put in Vickers again and start grooming this kid behind Benitez, because he could be the next guy up. It seems to happen over at Granite Hills. They remind me of the Green Bay Packers, to be quite honest. But a lot of running from Davion. Davion had a great game as well. He easily had at least 60, 70 yards on the ground. I think he led the pack, and he has been so far. But Benitez and his receivers, Diaz, caught quite a few. Smith caught a few. He's just got so many weapons out there. And he didn't run it as much as he usually did. He was actually surveying the field and throwing it to his receivers. I think maybe Cobbs is telling him, we got a whole playoff to look at coming up, and we don't need to get you hurt. So let's try to step up in the pocket and use our vision. But he has a great defense behind him too. But the Highlanders did have a pick, so they didn't have a completely empty game. They did have a pick, but tough year. Definitely, as a commentator said, this is just a shell of what Helix was just a couple of years ago, and it's kind of bad to see him like this. I mean, nobody's used to seeing the Highlanders struggling so much, but I think another 2 or 3 years, and they're going to be right back in it, fighting over Granite, and who knows, or maybe Steel Canyon will be at the top for a while. But
Yep.
we should go into that one just because of that, because
We should, but I want to mention the Helix players first, since you just referred to them by just their numbers. Jordan Lindley scored a touchdown run for Helix, and also they did get that. You mentioned the touchdown from Lee Norman Lestry, threw it to Jacob Andrew Johnson in the fourth quarter. So it was never really a threatened comeback at all. But man, you mentioned all those Hillers in all their scoring. Man, a great job. Also, Emilio Berra had a nice gain in there. Dave, Jacob Nunez is 30 for 31 this season on his PATs.
Oh, he missed one. I told you. I thought that he. But yeah, that makes me go back to what they were saying. Tyler was saying about his Grossmont team and doing the math, and I think that's pretty wise of Coach Lawrence. I never heard it that way, so he really put some serious thought into those 2-point conversions. But yeah, Granite Hills look like they're. I don't see them losing a league game, to be quite honest. And I'm not, and I'm even saying Helix wasn't awful. I'm just saying that Granite Hills is that good.
Yep. Your Eagles did it again, and it's not over yet in the Hills League, but that was a big game there. Get to the next one here right now, Dave, and I'm going to cover it here with one of the East County's most anticipated matchups of the season. All of a sudden, with the Mount McGill Matadors delivering a big win on Friday night on senior night, handling previously unbeaten Steel Canyon, 28-21 in a thrilling game. The game had everything: big plays, defensive stands, and dramatic swings of momentum. But in the end, Mount McGill's explosiveness and poise made the difference. Steel Canyon opened fast, scoring on its opening drive when quarterback Gavin Kaha found Nico Yara on a short screen that turned into a 60-yard touchdown. The extra point was no good, but the Cougars held a 6-0 advantage. Mount McGill answered with a gritty first quarter drive that stalled briefly before sophomore running back Jeremiah Holiday powered in from the 1-yard line on 3rd and goal. Clint Edelman gave a lead to the Matadors 7-6 on his PAT. The Matadors defense came alive with a series of sacks to force Steel Canyon into a short pooch punt. Mount McGill's offense found itself deep in Cougar territory, however, just before halftime, and produced one of the season's most remarkable plays. As the first half clock expired, strong-arm Andre Jackson launched a Hail Mary from his own 40-yard line. The ball was tipped by a Steel Canyon defender at the 10, but it fell perfectly into the arms of Delonte Williams, who tumbled into the end zone and scored the 52-yard touchdown on the catch there on a kind of a rebound. The tip happened like at about the 8 or 9 yard line, and Delonte was just right behind it. and the ball tipped deflected to him, and he scored the touchdown. So Steel Canyon clawed its way back in the third quarter when a special teams miscue turned costly for Mount Miguel. Right after Edelman had booted a 72-yard punt, it was called back on a penalty, and then they botched the punt snap over his head on the next one. The Cougars recovered in the end zone, and the score was tied 14-all with 5:30 left in the third quarter. But Mount Miguel responded with a powerful drive as A.J. Logan, one of the hottest receivers in the county, took a toss from Jackson and raced deep into Cougar territory. 2 plays later, Holiday finished the drive with his second touchdown of the night. He's big, Dave. He's a 5'10", I think he's 5'10", 210. Piled in there to give him a 21-14 lead with 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Early in the fourth, Mount Miguel extended the lead. Jeremiah Loper connected with Tamarian Williams on a 19-yard strike down the middle of the field, making it 28-14. The Cougars did not go quietly. Kaha found Jacob Hinton on a short pass that turned into a 33-yard score as Hinton broke multiple tackles and sprinted across the field to make it 28-21 with 4:12 to play. Steel Canyon got the ball back, Dave, near midfield with just over a minute left. Kaha completed a pair of passes to move the Cougars to the 36, setting up a potential game-tying play. But on the next play, a deep throw was intercepted, and it was spectacular fashion by Johnny Porfilio in the end zone. A leaping interception right in front of the Steel Canyon player who was behind him, but he jumped and caught the ball in spectacular fashion, and the win by Mount Miguel improves them to 1-1. I'm sorry, to the 2-1 here in league play right now, and giving them a chance still here, Dave, to compete for the league title. Eagles would have to lose one along the way here, but Mount Miguel needed this win over Steel Canyon to kind of stay alive and have a chance. Steel Canyon has only one loss as well, but they would have to beat the Cougars on the last night. The Matadors win. You could get a 3-way tie if the Cougars could somehow beat the Eagles on the final night of the season.
I think this was it was important for them as far as Mount Miguel, you're saying, to hold on, but at the same time, Steel Canyon really needed to win this game. That was just as vital that they come in and remain, and not just remain undefeated, but they needed to be 2-0. And I think that I think it could bite them in, later on in the next 2 games, because, like you said, they might, because those teams are a rivalry, and they've played them close over the years, no matter what the records were. But that's something they better hope for. But you got to remember who you got on the other side. Granite Hills is just as hungry as you are, or even more so, because they've already lost their chance to go into the Open. So they don't want to lose. They're not going to lose their chance to go to Division I and make some noise in the playoffs. So going to be a tough matchup there. Boy, that would have been something to watch, though. I just, all these teams I think about, they always, whether it's pro, college, high school, those 2-minute offenses, they practice and practice and practice. They always practice a 2-minute offense. And I can't imagine him, and I know he's got a great arm, launching that one right there. And oh man, for his guy not to be there to grab it, that's just now my question to you: was his receiver? Did he run the route maybe incorrectly?
Yeah, a great play by both. They ran a deep pass and just great interception. To cap a great game tonight. Steel Canyon had their chances. Mount Miguel, every time Mount Miguel, they had a funny thing, like 2 or 3 times, Dave, where they would have a big play, would get called back from a penalty, and on the very next play, they'd either run the same play or they'd go right back down the field and score. It was kind of peculiar how that was happening. The penalty doesn't matter. Next play, Mount Miguel get a touchdown. Big play, penalty, doesn't matter. Mount Miguel next play turned in a big play like that was meant to be. So a good job by the Matadors winning on the road there against Steel Canyon. Big game tonight.
Oh, great! I mean, hats off to Mount McGill for this win and to beat what I consider to be one of the tougher teams in the hills. Maybe even uh, in my Eagles there for a minute. But I really just did Steel Canyon's defense, were they a little lackadaisical, or were they just not playing up to par? Because it seems like that defense has been better in the last few games that they've won.
No, they did play well. Steel Canyon's a very good team with some real talent on that field for sure. So I think we got the result. Look, Mount McGill was at home, and they got that win. And Steel, and look, if it was the other way around, might have been a big night for Steel Canyon if they were at home. So,
Oh, what a game! Yeah, that definitely out of all the games I took a look at, this one definitely would have been the one I'd want to have my eyes on because Granite Hills really took it to your poor Highlanders.
yeah, they did. All right, let's continue on here. We got 3 more games to wrap up. We'll do it quickly here with the Christian
Oh,
taking on St. Augustine here. The Patriots are off that thrilling upset of Scripps Ranch last week, but they couldn't capture the magic against Saints 20-7 at Mesa College tonight. The Saints used a dominant first half behind running back Pasios Polomalu. That's right, Dave.
is he related?
Absolutely. That's his son, the great defensive star from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Troy Polamalu. His son rushed for 2 touchdowns tonight. Vince Smith also connected on a couple of key passes, set up scores. Spencer Austin had a touchdown for the Saints. Christian had an early opportunity to see some momentum when they recovered a fumble on the opening possession, Dave, at midfield, but the drive stalled and the Patriots forced a punt. From there, the Saints were more physical, and Polamalu with his rushing touchdowns in the first half and had other runs as well. Ty Rozier, Dave, one of the county's top receivers, electrified the Christian sideline with an 80-yard touchdown. I believe it was a return, Dave, but we might have to get the details of that. It could have also been a special teams play. I caught just the end of it, and I didn't really see the whole play, but our man Steve Benson tacked on the PAT, but it was 20-7. Hank Houston had some nice runs in there as well, carrying the ball and played well defensively, but he had a run late in the third quarter into Saints territory, but the Patriots turned it over on downs inside the red zone. So 20-7 tonight. Saints kind of put the kibosh there on Christian.
Now my question is, so you're telling me that Polamalu's son is a offensive player. He didn't get it. He didn't want to play the defensive, knocking people around like so many years we saw him with his fluffy hair and his his commercials, but really some killer hits. And I guess he said, "Dad, I'm gonna score touchdowns." I mean, and don't get me wrong, because we all know that he scored quite a few touchdowns in his time as well on defense. But boy, what a treat to have him at playing at Mesa College on site. I'm sure there was a couple of people that recognized him, and I can't imagine how many people were asking for autographs. And I'm sure even the St. Augustine team as a whole probably got them. But boy, what a shock for Christian. Another, I mean, not so much a heartbreaker. I mean, they really took it to him, and I really didn't see St. Augustine beating them this badly. I thought it would be maybe a 20-14, maybe even a 10-7 game, but I didn't think they were that much better. I really didn't. I mean, the Runkle and Rozier combo, they have been so good and so just so tight. Maybe it's just they've been using him so much that they're covering him up, and we needed to distribute the ball better, and maybe give young Moronis the ball a little more and hit the ground game. I don't know. Something's got to change there, but boy, this is not the same Christian team that I saw that was phenomenal last year. But let's not take anything away from that. They graduated to a higher and better quality of team. They get more points when they beat these big teams, but they also can be beaten. There's a lot tougher than their schedule last year, but sorry to see the Patriots lose another one. I hope I don't see their season end so prematurely, but it might be the case, unfortunately. But I will say, you guys played some phenomenal games, though, and you got to be proud of yourselves.
They'll be in the playoffs, Dave. Just about everybody is, so they'll be a threat for sure. Next up, Dave, a couple more losses here, though. Maranatha Christian beat Mountain Empire 41-0 tonight as their great season kind of came to a screeching halt here. This was kind of the championship game. They still just have one loss, but they entered Friday night's home clash with making a statement in the race. But Maranatha Christian had other plans. 41-0 was the final. Coach Keller told me, he said, obviously we didn't play our best, it was frustrating, but Maranatha is well coached and they executed really well tonight. It's been a great season so far, and it's not over for the Red Hawks. They'll get another chance maybe to play Maranatha Christian again later on, and have another chance. Maybe they'll learn from the big defeat here, playing a pretty good team in Maranatha Christian. But it's been a great season, and it's not over yet for Mountain Empire.
No, did you have a little more insight than I did, because you did pick Maranatha Christian to beat Mountain Empire, but it wasn't anything like 41 to nothing.
We thought, look, I kind of thought it might be a little bit of a win there for Maranatha, maybe by more than I was giving him credit for, trying to be respectful of the great season the Red Hawks have had. But Maranatha Christian looks pretty good so far this season. Mountain Empire has another tough game here that they'd like to win in the league. There a little bit. Well, yeah, right now, yeah, they've got important games still coming up here, and another tough one actually in the Sunset League. Okay, and one other one tonight, Dave, was O'Farrell. Foothills Christian, a good game tonight. O'Farrell Charter kept its season going here, 38-23 Friday afternoon to improve to 4-2 in the league play. Falcons built a commanding lead early in this one. In the second quarter, the Falcons found the end zone twice on rushing touchdowns. It was 22-0, then 25-0. Finally, Foothills Christian, David Stewart got in there, make it 25-8. Then the Knights responded. Joshua Hawkins had a rushing touchdown. It was 32-15 after 3 quarters in that one. And Foothills Christian did get a late touchdown to make it 38-23 as O'Farrell wins to go to 4-2 in the Sunset. Foothills Christian 0-7 and 0-3 in league play.
But this was their best. This was their best game probably of the year, though, scoring wise. Or do you think it was kind of garbage touchdowns, if you will, at the end?
No, not at all. I think again they scored there. As I said, it was 25-8 after Stewart made a touchdown at halftime, so they were only down 17, and then they were down 17 heading into the fourth quarter after Joshua Hawkins scored a rushing touchdown. So it was 32-15 after 3 quarters.
All right, well, it's good to see they at least scored, and boy, what some really close games and great games, and then some other ones. A lot of blowouts too, though, or a couple of them, I should say. But did you really expect Helix to get blown out that bad by Granite? I sure didn't.
Okay, I did. I think I did. In fact, Dave, I think I picked the score exactly right on the show. Or no, I'm sorry, I said 42-14. It was 40-14. Or in the column, anyway. I think I said.
Wow. I just didn't. I guess I was giving your guys a little bit more. I think they need some more defense. They need more receivers. They need a good running game. They don't like we've talked about off the air. They need a Christian Washington. They need not to be nothing against Lester, but somebody to give him some time to create some holes. And let him throw the ball, because he has an arm and he's a pretty quick guy. And he's not the smallest guy either. He reminds me of young John Elway, all stout, and he's a pretty big guy. But it is what it is. This is another week in the books, and I can't believe we only have 2 more weeks of league play, and then we're heading to playoffs.
Great games next week, Dave, here on the show. Steel Canyon at Helix next week, Santana and West Hills, Granite Hills and El Capitan, Valhalla and Monta Vista. Going to want to make sure to join us on Wednesday night for the previews and next Friday night with more recaps. We try to get these league titles taken care of. Thanks to everybody watching live, and thanks to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Zander, for what you do for Dave and I to get to see the great games there tonight. And hats off to the Eagles. Beat my Highlanders again, and not over yet, but the Eagles looking like they could get that 4th straight championship, Dave.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Zander. I really appreciate it, and even coming out, even no pixelation or anything like that, but being in the Midwest where I am, any kind of storm can put a little damper on things. But I really do appreciate everything that you do for the Granite Hills program, and then Granite Mortgage also, Lakeside Equipment. And let's not forget, and I'm hoping he will get those to you. I will actually, he's always up at this time, but I will be asking Mr. Robert Davila. He does the statistics also, and he does it from film. So as soon as he gets the film, that's when he gets to do, he does a lot of work. Boy, you got to appreciate a guy like that. He's dedicated to Christian, and his son doesn't even play there now for a couple of years. And thank you, Touchdown Plumbing, and then our once again our photographer Vic Morano. Go to his I don't know his exact address. Ramon does, but go and see some of his portfolio. Vic Morano, he's just fantastic, and he takes pictures of just about everything sports.
Great job, Dave. It's going to do it here for the East County Prep Football Postgame Show. Thanks to those sponsors here. We're back next week. More action here from the East County. Great job, Dave. Thank you to the Hillers as well.
Yes.
Today. Yep. Thanks, Hillers. Congratulations. Not over yet, but that was a big win tonight. Tyler Holmes, Colton Burke. They were our guys tonight.
Thank you, Ramon. We still got to show the bus anyway. Even though they weren't on the bus, we were trying to get the Sultans on, but they were in a hurry to get to their dinners or whatever they had to do. But we always have a time for the Sultans, and maybe we'll have them with a win next week or even West Hills. But big game next week also. So for Ramon Scott, I'm Dave Dickens. Enjoy the college and NFL games that are coming up.